Hello guys, so today we're in my CLK 230 compressor. I was pleasantly surprised by it, to be fair. I think it's actually quite a good car to get if you're on a budget, and I will tell you why. So this car is 2000, got around 97,000 miles, and the retail on this car is around 900 to £1,000. This obviously has got the 2.3 supercharged engine, so that gives you about 197 horsepower, and the car weighs around 1400 kilos. It gets you to 60 in just over 8 seconds. It's got quite a lot of torque, being a 2.3 supercharged, so it actually gets you around pretty well if you ever need to get anywhere, and it's got a lot of power across the rev range, so even though it doesn't have the most top end, it means quite a lot of power down low. As fuel economy goes, an eco run, I've managed to get around 42 to 43 to the gallon. Going about 80, it's probably going to be around 36, 37, and then in town it really drops into the 20s, sometimes less. Yeah, as comfort goes, it's very comfortable. You've got electric seats, full leather interior, electric windows, aircon, cruise control, all the standard Mercedes stuff, automatic gearbox, which works very well. And most surprisingly, this car doesn't feel too old. I would say on the handling front, it's definitely not sharp as a BMW of the same era. That's one thing I kind of like about Mercedes, is that they're very easy to drive every day. These seats are extremely comfortable for me, and the whole seating position in general is very good. So getting around day to day, especially with an automatic gearbox in London, for me is great. And then going down the motorway, I can still get 40 to the gallon, is also great. One downside, however, is that the fact that this is not ULEZ compliant, so in London that becomes a bit of an issue. If it was one reg letter later, if it was a Y reg, it would be ULEZ compliant, but that's just how the ULEZ works. It's got to be 2001. When daily driving as well, when you're on the motorway, the wind noise is pretty low, and it gets along just fine. It's great at speed, it doesn't feel gutless at all at any point. And if it's particularly damp and you're into a bit of sideways action, that's also possible. So at the moment, I've had this car 3 months now. It's been great ever since I did a service on it not too long ago, just to refresh the oil and the spark plugs and everything like that. There has been an issue with the air conditioning, which means I need to replace the condenser. So with these bargain cars or these cheaper cars, when they're under £1,000, a condenser change or belts and stuff like that, it really adds on to the price of the car. When you consider it's only £1,000, when you spend £300 on it, that's a third of the price of the car. So one thing that came to Cameron and I's surprise, and one of the good things about daily in this car, is it actually has loads of cargo space. So when we went to Wales, we realised that, didn't we?
Yeah, so the back seat, as you'll see from the pictures, comes all the way down, which means you have the whole back of this car, which is quite incredible. That's just something that you don't get on a lot of cars. Even my car, you can't even do that, which is quite remarkable. It's a little bit underrated as a car in general, just this shape, but it is certainly a very good option if you're in the market for something that's fairly cheap, unbelievably comfortable, as you've already mentioned, and it's definitely something that should be considered for this price range. So we've had our first GoPro fall off the car, which is quite interesting. We're just trying to look for where
There it is.
the mount is in the pothole. Oh, I think we're good.
200 horsepower on the road is more than enough for what you need. It gets you around everywhere, and it's really affordable motoring, and you get a lot for your money. Some of the possibly bad things about this car, I personally like the looks, whereas I think Cameron's a bit on the fence.
Yeah, they're not bad, but they're also not great.
No, they're not the best. To be fair, I didn't like them at all when I saw this car when I was growing up. But over the years, it's kind of grown on me. I like the back end now, and I like the classic kind of Mercedes style of it. They got rid of the Mercedes muffler at the back. Completely cut out the muffler. And when you do that, it does make it louder, which is what some people want. However, I believe it doesn't make it sound any better. It just makes it louder, and I don't like the sound of it. I think it's too loud. But there we go. I like nice quiet.
Driving along like this, I mean, the microphone probably can't really pick up, but it's not actually too bad. It's fairly normal. It's only where you really floor it. Yeah, you can probably hear that. It does get a little bit loud.
Another weird thing, which is quite common on these cars, is they've replaced the manual fan with an electric fan. So that's where the temperature probe actually goes, and then the control, the fan control is here. So that actually tells it what temperature to turn the fan on. It actually works really well, but it's quite common, and it's a pretty big unit, to be fair. So I guess you might make an extra horsepower or two.
It's all you need for a daily basis, which is pretty much the only reason why you'd buy this car. I mean, it's not exactly the most stylish car. It's not really a cool car. You're not going to get into the car scene with it, but just for a daily driver for anyone, I mean, our age, even up to in their 40s and 50s, this would be a great little run around.
Like the car, I think it's definitely a bargain for the money it is, and if you've got that sort of budget, I think it's definitely something to come into your options. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it.